Hello, welcome to the INSEVIS video tutorials. My name is Fabian. Today, we'll be taking a look at firmware updates for the gateways and edge HMIs. In the configuration interface, under System, Backup and Update, you'll also find the firmware update option. Here, we have two options. One is to update the firmware via the internet, and the other is to update it from a previously downloaded file. We can also check for new updates here or view the changelog to see what has changed in the update. To search for new updates or to update via the internet, the device must of course be connected to the one port. If I start the firmware update via the internet, it will also prompt me again to confirm that the WAN port is connected, as you can see displayed here. That's necessary. The whole thing must be set to DHCP, and then we can start the update by clicking OK. Then it would begin downloading the file. That's about 300 megabytes, which must also be available on the device. Depending on the connection, this takes about a minute. And once the download is complete, the actual update will start. This will take about another 15 minutes. Please do not turn off the device during this time, and you simply need to wait until the device restarts itself at the login screen. The firmware update via the internet can be carried out both in the normal operating mode as well as in the service mode of the gateway or the edge HMIS. In normal operating mode, as mentioned, you need to make sure that the HRCP is switched on. In service mode, you don't have to do that. There is an automatic network configuration that takes care of all of this. If we want to upgrade the firmware from a file, we go to the INSEVIS homepage, then to Downloads, S7N IoT. There, we find all downloads for our devices, just like in this green tab here. Each current firmware version is available for the different devices, display sizes, and with or without WebVism. Once we've downloaded the firmware, we can go back to the configuration page and click on Firmware Update from File. All the data remains unaffected during this process. If I press OK here, the selection menu for the files I have available for download will appear. Here I have the 7-inch Edge HMI with WebVisual. That means I would need to select the TEW file. If I now select the wrong file, the one without WebVisual, the update will start. All the data will be transferred to the device. This takes a few minutes, and afterwards, of course, the update would be interrupted and it would say that this is the wrong file. So if you realize from the start that you've installed the wrong file, you can save yourself the time. Just use the reload button in your browser. The whole process will be cancelled. It goes back to System, Backup, and Update. Then select Update Firmware from File again and click OK again. Now we select the correct file and start the update. Now we're back at the same point. The nearly 300 megabytes are transferred to the device, and then the update begins. While you're in this part, loading, please wait, and you can still see the background. You can interrupt the update at any time using the reload button, but really only during this part. Now, at this moment, it has switched over. Now it says, reconnecting, please wait. From this point on, you should absolutely not interrupt the installation anymore. When the update is running now, we can only tell by the blinking status on the gateway and this page. If we have an Edge HMI as shown here, we also see a percentage display. Don't be surprised if this gets stuck at 99% for a few minutes. If, due to some unfortunate circumstance like a power outage, impatience, or something similar, the update does get interrupted, the device no longer boots up, and you only see a blinking LED, it's not a big deal. Fortunately, the device has a fallback mode. This means it enters a mode where it only waits for a DHCP network on the one port. When you connect this, the current firmware update is automatically downloaded and installed via the internet. So after about 20 to 25 minutes, the device is back to how it should be. So the device has restarted. The firmware update was successful. The whole topic of firmware updates is, of course, also described in the IoT device manual. You can read about it in detail there again. As always, the manual is linked in the video description, just like the download page for the service. Hope you enjoyed the video and found it informative. Then I'll see you in one of the next videos from the INSEVIS video tutorials.